Broadcasting from the basement of La Penta, it's WICR.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. Jersey Joe Archino back here. And obviously, it is opening day in Major League Baseball, and you could go up and down the list talking about the strengths and the weaknesses of every single team. But I think more than anything, the thing that you need to be more appreciative, other than the fact that baseball is back, is that the game is finally where it needs to be in terms of the pace of play. The biggest issues that were preventing Major League Baseball from becoming what it needed to be in the modern era was the current rules that were in place. And now, finally, that a baseball game is manageable to watch. When Bud Selig was still the commissioner, it felt like the games were a time investment. It felt like you had to sit down and devote way too much amount of a time to just sit and enjoy a baseball game. You felt like you're devoting too much of your time to it. But now the games are more manageable. We look at some of the records we saw last season with the fast time that games took place and were completed in. And I think more than anything, it's all Rob Manfred, because Manfred was the perfect fit for the next commissioner, because you need to have a progressive mind, someone who's willing to give the game what it needed, especially to get the younger fans more attracted to the game, because the older demographics are always going to love baseball. No matter what changes the game went through, they were always going to stay loyal and watch the game. What the MLB needed to do was appeal to the younger audiences, because the younger audiences are drawn to soccer. Soccer is continuing to grow among the younger demographics because it's fast. It's 2 hours. It's not a time commitment. There are no commercials. It's rapid. It's always something happening. That's just the way technology, society, that's the way it is now. We want instant gratification. We want everything quickly. And that's just not what Major League Baseball was giving to the audiences that they were portraying to. But now it is. The games are faster. The games are more fun because of the speed you can watch now. And it's not a time commitment. It is exactly what the game needed. And you put the young talent we see across the league on top of that. It's in a very healthy spot. I think we're only going to continue to see the ratings improve and to see everything improve for the sport, because what's happening now is what's needed to happen for a long time. But with a new man in charge, as we saw last season, the changes that needed to be made are being made, and the sport is going to be better for it. But more than anything, we saw some rain delays today. Of course, the Yankees home opener delayed by rain. And here in New York, it just doesn't feel like it's opening day. You look outside, it's been rainy all day, it's been cold. It has just been a gross day, not suited what you would expect for opening day. Some places, a lot of them most likely on the West Coast, you got a nice opening day, but over here in New York, it is just miserable. It is not a nice day for opening day whatsoever. But I think you kind of look across the league this year, and there's so many different teams, and I think parity is a word that we all like, because we know what the top sport in the United States is right now. It's the NFL, and it's not even close. And one of the things that we all like to say about the NFL is the level of parity in the league. It's so hard to win in the NFL, but it's so easy to see what wins. And even with that formula of quarterbacks really being the root cause of all things that win, it's still a league where anyone has a chance on any given day. Even the teams at the bottom of the barrel, teams like Oakland, teams like Detroit, who had been at the bottom of the barrel for so long, are now continuing to grow and thrive. And I think it just is more of a testament to why that league is so popular, because everyone wants to feel like at the beginning of the season they have a chance. Some don't have as much a chance as others, but realistically, I think fan bases in the NFL have a realistic belief that they've got somewhat of a chance. And in Major League Baseball, it's kind of starting to emerge like that. We see the Cubs continuing to grow dramatically. We see the Astros, teams like the Mets, putting the young talent in place, and it paid dividends. I mean, last season's playoffs proved exactly why baseball is where it is right now. You had young talent everywhere. You had the Cubs, you had the Astros, you had the Mets, all really defined by young talent. Even the Royals, that core had been built. I mean, guys like Eric Hosmer, got all those players had been young, they had been developed, and the formula of what wins in the MLB is proven. It really is. The Mets got to the World Series the same way the Royals did. They built, they acquired the young talent, they developed it, and it got them to that point. The Royals, it had taken them a few years, but they had been building and building and building, and it had finally paid off. And I think the formula is sound. The Astros did the same thing. They make the playoffs last year. They're only going to continue to get better from here. Everyone in all walks of life, not just in sports, but in business, everyone's in the business of copying one another. When you see one thing that works, everyone else is going to try to emulate that and try to get success because of that. And I think we're going to see the same formulas follow suit. It's what the Yankees desperately need to do. And to their credit, what they've been trying to do is building young. Right now, it's a team where it's kind of hangs in the balance, where it's a competitive roster, but it's not a competitive roster for the long haul. For the long haul, it's all going to take reloading the farm system, and they are taking the steps to do that. But I think certainly the model of success in Major League Baseball starts with youth movements, and I think we've seen that across the league for a lot of the teams. And we look at the teams that are favorites this year, teams like the Cubs, teams like the Mets, they have youth movements, and that is what wins in this league today is youth movements. And as we move across opening day and we see all the opening results, you really don't take any stock into anything that happens in the first couple of games. It takes so long for Major League Baseball to really get a substantial feel for anything, but opening day is just fun to kind of turn your brain off, not overanalyze anything too much, and just enjoy that baseball is back. And certainly baseball is back, and the sport is healthier than it has been in a long time, and we'll continue to watch it grow. But until then, Jersey, Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino and on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino. And I'll see everybody next time.